Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to the course on cryptography and system security. In our previous session, we were discussing about the different Kerberos versions, version 4 and then version 5, how the communication takes place among the different entities, like uh, maybe a user to authentication server, and then user to ticket granting server, and then user to the server, the actual server where the user wanted to perform its request. So then we discussed about the different notations, what are the different component which presents inside the ticket, how the tickets are encrypted, what are the keys which are used for encrypt the tickets as well as the request. Also we discussed about the Kerberos realm, how the communication takes place if the server present within the realm, right? Realm, I could say that within the network, in the other word we could consider, right? Also we discussed about, suppose if the server present in the remote realm, how the communication takes place from a client which is present at the remote location, right? So based on those, right, and so we learned the complete information which are related to the Kerberos. Also we discussed about the different requirements which are to design the Kerberos and authentication protocol. Under that we discussed about the security. Whenever the Kerberos protocol is implemented in any authentication mechanisms, which has to be more secure so that the attacker cannot get the information which are transmitted through the network. As well as the second thing is the reliability, right? Every component which is act as a centralized node, that should also maintained as a backup in case if the centralized node or resource gets failed, the backup node or backup entity resources will come into the picture that will continue its services irrespective of the actual node or actual resource get failed. And the third one is that what I could say that the transparency, right? How the things are which are hidden from the users as well as other entity. There are certain things which are to be completely hidden from how the authentication takes place, where the resources presents. All those information should be completely hidden from the users as well as other resources. The fourth requirement which we discussed was a scalability. If the number of users increases in terms of requests as well as the services, right? Both the resources or all the resources like authentication server, TGS as well as server, to extend its services even if the number of users increases, right? So these are the few fundamental things which are related to the Kerberos which we discussed in the last session. In this session, we'll be discussing about another important topic, which is X.509 certificate, which is actually the part of the third chapter, which is as per your the prescribed syllabus. I hope the presentation screen is visible. I should have asked it. I hope I'm audible. Anyone can quickly acknowledge whether the presentation screen is visible and I'm audible. Okay, so in this session, we'll be discussing about another important topic, which is X.509 certificate. So during our last unit, we were discussing about the certificates, right? When we talk about the certificate, general certificate, right? If you have any certificate, you used to say that I need to get a certificate, any kind of certificate, whether it is living certificate or mark sheet or any maybe the degree certificate, the certificate which has been issued by any one of the signing authority. So that is going to prove something that you pass in the particular subjects, you have been awarded the particular degree. That means that the authoritative, they have verified all your the documents in terms of you would have appeared for all the examination and you would have got passed in all the subjects, and then no, you would have secured the particular marks in terms of grade, first class, second class, distinction, all those things which are verified and which has been given as a certificate by the authoritative, right? Maybe the registrar, maybe, or maybe the vice chancellor, whoever is the signing authority, right? And they would have given the certificate which consists of all your grades as well as the statements along with the seals and the signatures, right? The certificate which is going to prove something that you are eligible for the particular thing which are written in the certificate. Similarly, when it comes for communication over the network, right? And the different entities who are in a communication, say for example, if you wanted to access any website, right, from your browser to the merchant website, right, where the communication or the session which takes place between the two entity, which is the client as well as the merchant server, which has to be transmitted in a secure way, right, which has to be established so that every user or every client which needs to be authenticated individually, right? To authenticate themselves, they can use a different ways, right? They can use a digital signature as well as they can go with the other mode of maybe the secret key based no authentications, or they can go with the certificate. Now when we talk about the certificate will be issued by the certificate authority. We'll discuss, right? So in this topic we are going to discuss about what is this X.509 certificate and what is the use of it, how it can be used, where it can be used, what are the different entities which are present in the certificate. Everything we are going to analyze and study in this session. Okay, so when we talk about X.509 authentication service, so this authentication service which will be carried out with the help of the certificate, right? So here this can be used when we use our distributed servers maintaining a user information database, because from the database user information can be fetched and it can be authenticated, as well as, right, which defines the framework for authentication service. A directory may store in the public key certificate. So in the earlier sessions we discussed about what is public key and what is public key certificate, right? And how the public key can be distributed among the different users with the public key of the user signed by the certification authority. Now here the public key which is already issued, right, which needs to be signed by the certificate authority, so that forms a digital certificate, right? So also this X.509 authentication service which also defines a different authentication protocol which can be used, those protocol which can be combined with the public key as well as, so this can be the combination of public key cryptography as well as digital signatures. When we talk about the public key cryptography, which can be RSA as well as other algorithm, right? So here the recommended algorithm is RSA algorithm, but when in order to create a digital signature, they can go with any one of the hashing technique, which is MD5, right? Or SHA, depends on the industry requirements, right? I hope this is clear. Now this X.509 authentication service, so this can be carried out with the help of the public key cryptography technique. This you supposed to note it, right? Public key cryptography along with the digital signature, which is both the entities are both the technique which are combinedly used in order to provide this X.509 authentication service. I'll proceed further. When we talk about X.509, right, so this is a standard form of public key certificate, right? It is every time, right, there's if there are different uses, let's assume I am just assuming only there are two uses, right? So there are different ways through which a public key can be distributed. The first one is public announcement, and then publicly available directory, and then the third one is that public key authority, and then the certificate authority. The fourth one is certificate authority. Now here I am just explaining with the fourth technique, which is a public key, the certificate authority. The certificate authority will issue a public key to the users. Now this X.509 is one of the technique through which the user's public key will be identified in the terms of public key certificates, which is a digital documents that is securely associate a cryptographic key pairs, which is when you talk about the public key cryptography, which is private key as well as public key. So with the help of these keys, right? So here this key pairs with identifiers such as any websites. If you wanted to use any website, your browser as well as any individuals as well as organization, which has to be identified with the public key certificate, which is obtained by the certificate authority, right? So this was introduced in the year of 1988. Along this was the first version, which is X.500, and then later they did the different modifications, and finally now we are using X.509, which is public key infrastructures, right? So there are different versions. Out of that, X.509, which is certificate, version 2 certificate, which has certificate revocation list, right? Again, this X.509 version 2, which also provides a certificate path validations. All these terms which we'll discuss in the upcoming slides. Also, already we discussed about this certificate revocation list. What is certificate revocation list? Anyone can quickly recall? When I was explaining about the public key infrastructure, I explained about the registration authority, certificate authority, revocation list. Can anyone remember? What is this revocation list? Okay, no problem. We'll proceed further. I can explain again. Now, when we talk about the application or use where this X.509 certificate can be used to verify the identity of the website. If we wanted to identify any website, whatever we are using, whether it is a trusted one, right? Whether it is incorporated with the all the security measures, right? Whenever you are sending any messages, right? Whether your information which are going to be transferred in a secured way, so that has to be identified through this X.509 certificate, right? To verify the identity of the website or individual or an organization. In other words, users know that the person or organization really is who they are. That means that if I wanted to make sure that www.google.com, along with this site, you will find a information. If I log into this URL, I can find that whether this website is a trusted website. Okay. Also, this certificate which are used to protect the data against man in the middle through the use of symmetric key encryption. Whenever you are pinging, right, from your browser to the website, communication will be established based on the certificate which is issued by the certificate authority. Later I'll do the demonstration, right, where you can see the X.509 certificate on any of the websites. Okay, these are some of the additional application, real-time applications where this can be used, right, which can be used for any protocol where the SSL are as well as TSL. SSL, secure socket layer, and then transport layer security, and HTTPS protocol, HTTP secure, hypertext transfer protocol secured, right? So when we are using any type of this protocol, and where you can find the X.509 as well as, so this can be used signed and encrypted email through simple multi-purpose mail, multi-purpose internet mail extension, as well as other applications like code signing, documentation signing, all these things for the verification as well as authentications, right? So these are the some of the applications. Out of that, I'll uh, do the demonstration for this how this HTTPS protocol which uses certificate in a particular browser in the later part. Now, when we discuss about the certificates, the certificate consists of some information. When you get the certificate from the university, which will consist of certain information, right? So which first you will find your name and registration number which is associated with you, and then marks you obtain and the year in which you passed, right? All those information, which course you obtain, all those information which will present in the certificate. Similarly, when you talk about X.509, which consists of these informations, version, I mentioned that. Any queries? I think someone mic is turned on. Any queries? Okay. So there are different versions, version 1, version 2, version 3. After that, the certificate which uses which version or belongs to which version, right? And the second one is that the serial number. Serial number is like your certificate number, right? It is a unique number which has been assigned by the certificate authority, right? And then signature algorithm identifier. So this is what type of digital signature algorithm which is used to produce the public key certificate, which is whether it is RSA algorithm or any other public key algorithm. Now issuer name. So here this is name of the certificate authority who is giving the certificate. And then the period of validity. See, the certificate which has a valid only for the particular time duration. After that, the certificate will get expired. User may need to renew it, right? So the period of validity, and then name of the subject. Here, subject which refers to that name of the owner whom the certificate is issued. Okay, and then the public key information which are algorithm parameters and key which are used, the public key as well as other information what algorithm which used, right? Again, issuer unique identifier. Again, so this is again the which is available only the version 2 and then advanced versions. Again, subject unique identifier. So here this is just a name, issuer name as well as subject name. Here this is some additional information, your unique identifier for the both uh, issuer as well as the user, right? Again, some other extended field which are related to the certificate 3. Give me a second, I just okay. And the last part will be a the signature part, right? So if you use any, see, in the beginning of this session I explained about this X.509 certificate which uses our digital signature as well as sorry, this public key algorithm as well as this digital signature, right? If they use SHA algorithm, SHA algorithm will produce an hash code. Hash code will act as a digital signature. Okay, I hope this is clear. So these are the parameters. I've covered the maximum parameters are present in the certificate. Now let me quickly see the diagram through which என்ன பண்ண போற மிக்ஸி போட போறியா? Just give me a second. Okay, so we'll continue. So these are the certificate diagrams through which we'll understand the different element which present in the certificate, right? The first will be the version part and certificate serial number, and so the signature algorithm will consist of the algorithm which is going to use, and then the parameters. What are the parameters which are going to be considered, right? The parameters in terms of maybe the public key as well as the messages which are going to be used, right? And then issuer name. So here this will be the name of the certificate issuer, and then the period of validity, which has a two further subfield. One is not before, not after, right? It has the issue date, time. Here also the expiry date as well as time. Subject name, here it is the user's name as well as the public key information, the individual users, the algorithm which they are going to use, the parameters as well as key, right? So this might be the size, the public key informations, unique identifier, and then subject, unique issuer, and then extension. So here the last part will be the signature part. So the version 1 which has only this information, version 2 which has till this part, version 3 which has all the informations, right? Now this is a certificate diagram. When you get the certificate, you will find all this information in the certificate. When we talk about certificate revocation list, right? If the certificate is coming to the end of the validity, or if the certificate is going to expire soon, in that cases, right, the certificate authority will also maintain the data about the revocation, which is when the data has to be, when the certificate has to be taken back, right? After that, so here this is the list of certificate revocation of the certificate authority which maintains the revocation for the particular certificate which is issued, right? Signature algorithm which is used, issuer name, and then update, right? Next update date, right? So here when it is going to be renewed, this is kind of renewal, when it has to be renewed, right? Again, in case of revoked, right? And what are the certificate, what are the name of what is the user certificate serial number, and then revocation date. Suppose if it is not renewed, and all the informations about when it is taken back, right? And then so here these are the revoked certificate informations as well as the signature algorithm. Almost the information, the common information, the signature as well as the other parameters are going to be the same. Along with those informations, it has some information which are related to the revocation of the particular certificate. So I hope this is clear. So this two diagrams gives the complete picture about what are the different components or different parts or elements present in the certificate as well as revocation list. Any queries regarding the two diagram? Okay, I hope yes, I'm getting the positive acknowledgement, so I can move further, right? So how the user can obtain a certificate? Any user with access to certificate authority, right? So here the certificate authority can be no anyone, so who is authorized to check whether your data is transferred in the network securely, which can be your SSL protocol developer, or there are third party certificate authority who's Verizon or Kaspersky. There are different, right? There are so many certificate authority who can give the certificate, and in order to get the certificate, user needs to send a request and they can obtain the certificate. And only the certificate authority can modify the certificate. The certificate cannot be forged and cannot be placed in the public directory. And sorry, this certificate can be placed in the public directory because this, the certificate whatever I'm talking, which is public key certificate. I hope you understand. The certificate authority or certificate is a technique through which individual user can share their public key to other users. Let's say for example Google, they are having a particular site, right? If you wanted to use youtube.com, right, and it is very difficult to distribute their public key to all the users throughout the world or throughout the globe. Rather, they can get a certificate, public key certificate, right, that can be placed in their website directory, and whoever wants to check it, they can check the certificate and they can see the public key. I hope this is clear. Announcing the public key to other users is the tedious work, right? Some users may get, some may not get it, right? To avoid that, user can obtain a certificate. This certificate can be placed in their the website, and anyone wants to check the public key, they can log in into the website and they can get the public key of the user. Okay, so when we talk about the public keys, right, again the key pass which we are going to use, right, again it's the public key infrastructures, public key digital signatures, right. Now already we discussed about all this part, right. Again, this informations, the public key which has been generated by this the certificate authority, and that will be shared with the users. The public key is the part of keeper. The keeper will have the private key as well as public key, right. Out of that, the private key is secured one, and the public key which is included in the certificate, right. So here the secret key or the private key which is secured one, and the public key which is going to be mentioned in the certificate, this certificate can be issued to other users, right. Now when we talk about digital signature, right, along with this information, the private key which can be used to do the digital sign on the particular documents in order to prove the an authentications, right, as well as, so here this certificate which allows the third parties to send a message is encrypted with the public key that only the owners of the private key can decrypt, because through the certificate we are sharing our, say for example I am sharing my public key to other users, other browsers, whoever I am connecting to the particular organization, my browser will use the public key. With the help of the public key, with the help of the receiver's public key, right, my browser information which are going to be transferred in a secured way, right. Again, so here the digital signature which will create a fixed size hash code, right. Now this certificate which has been signed by the publicly trusted certificate authority, for example I could say that ssl.com, right. This is again the concept which are related to the public key authority, right. When we talk about public key authority or public key infrastructure, where we'll have the two keys, private key as well as public key. Public key which is going to be embedded with the certificate and which is going to be shared with the other user, right. So now this is again the diagram through which how the certificate is generated. Here this is about the user information, Bob's information and Bob's public key. Now this is certificate authority information. With the help of the Bob's public key, right, hash is going to be calculated, and hash code, whatever the hash code which is going to be generated, that is going to be encrypted using certificate authority's private key. So this forms a digital signature. Similarly, here the public key of the user again which is going to be encrypted, sorry, applied to the hash function, the hash code will be generated. Now this digitals, I mean the encrypted certificate or encrypted hash code which will be transferred to the receiver. Receiver will decrypt with the certificate authority's public key, and you will get the hash code. So now both the values which are going to be compared, and if it is matches, it will be identified as an the trusted user to access the particular site. I hope this is clear. Any queries regarding the diagram explanation? I'll proceed further. I hope there are no more queries. Right? The same thing, right? Whatever I explained in the diagram, the different versions, what are the component which has, right? Here the certificate fields, right? Okay, I can explain all these, right? So here, this is what the sample, the certificate which is issued, I could say that, right? So here you will find that which has all the detail which we studied in the architecture diagram, right? Subject name, right? Which is, let's assume this is the certificate which is issued by SSL, and the location and the organization, certificate serial number and common number and the complete address, right? And all other information, right? I can scroll it down. Okay, and similarly, this is issuer information with respect to the issuer who issued the ticket, right? So just I'll just open the tab and then I'll show. So let I hope you can see the window. So where I'm trying to open a youtube.com. Anyone can quickly acknowledge? Yes. So here in the top left, you will find a log symbol, view site information. Can you see that? So before you type, whenever you use HTTPS, right? So here you will find a log symbol, right, which is secured. If you just click on that, right, you will get some information. Your connection is secure, as well as other informations, the notifications, right, as well as other information. And followed by, you will find an option which is called a certificate, right? If you just click on the certificate, which will open a tab, right, where you can find the information, right? So here the certificate information which ensures the identity of the remote computer issued to google.com, issued by Kaspersky antivirus personal root certificate, and valid from, now this you can just find the validity of the certificate, which is 3/10/2022 2/10/2021, right? And followed by, if you just click on the second information, second tab, which consists of details, where you will find all the information which we studied in the uh, certificate components, version 3, serial number, signature algorithm. Here they are using SHA 256 algorithm for digital signature creations, as well as signature algorithm, signature hash algorithm, and then issuer, the certificate is issued, valid from, valid to, and subject is that name of the owner, google.com, right? And then you will find a public key. So here the public key which uses, which is RS algorithm based public key, which is 2048 bits and public key parameters and enhanced key and as well as other informations, right? If you just click on the public key, if you just click on the public key, you will get the complete information, right? Based on the bits which has been used, 2048 public key. Now this is what the public key, right? From the certificate, any other users can get it, right? When you are when I'm connecting to the youtube.com from my device, my browser, Google Chrome automatically obtain the certificate from the website, right? And my authentication or the site authentication will be validated from my browser to the YouTube, or from my browser to the google.com, gmail.com, right? The data which are going to be transferred in the form of encrypted one. I hope now you are all much clear with what is happening in the 8.509 certificate, right? The certificate which includes a public key informations. Okay. So with the help of the public key, right? So whatever the information which I am going to send, which are going to be encrypted. Now, whatever the encryption which I did from my browser, that is going to be delivered to this particular website, youtube.com as well as gmail.com. That is going to be decrypted using the particular the website's private key. Right? I hope now you are clear how the public key algorithm which is used in order to produce the public key certificate in order to generate as well as verify the digital signature algorithm, right? And followed by the certificate path. Okay, so I hope this is clear, right? And once if you I explain continuously, right? So you will get a complete information, right? I'll quickly just cover, right? These are the information which are related with the issuer. Issuer means who issued the ticket, right? So in the live demonstration, I explained, I shown that which was the certificate was issued by the Casper key. So here I'm just showing the demonstration with the certificate which is issued by the SSL. So here again, this is the public key signature information, right? Which is a 256 bytes, right? Again, and followed by the signature which is generated, and the fingerprint. So here the hash codes as well as the other information which is going to act as a fingerprint to prove an authentication. Again, the revocations, the revocation list, right? Which has to be maintained, or which has to be maintained by the public key certificate authority, right? When the certificate can be revoked, again there are certain conditions. If it comes to know that user private key is compromised and user is no longer certified by the certificate authority, and if the certificate authority certificate key is compromised, so under this situation the certificate can be revoked, which can be taken back, right? Again, so when we talk about the certificate authority, how the certificate which are moved from one location to other location based on the different entities, parent entity